name is AbdulAzeez Oguntoyinbo, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of HalalVest Limited. Actually a serial entrepreneur. I studied business administration at the Yaba College of Technology with a field experience of over 6 years, working with different mobile money companies and financial inclusion focused companies. Most of the experience gathered has been around aggregating agents, to facilitate easy access to digital financial services. Aside from that, I also have a strong passion for, tech entrepreneurship and in driving, business and also driving technology innovation. And this has been what led to the development of, my first company, which is actually Isusu Africa Limited. Isusu Africa is a fintech company that provides digital platforms to microfinance institutions, to cooperative societies. We have been supporting them to move their customers from manual to digital and to scale up their operations digitally. So based on that experience and engagement, I got, a microfinance certification program from the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria. I'm also a fellow of the Institute of Islamic Finance Professionals, also a member of the Association of Mobile Money and Bank Agents. And I've had attended several courses at the prestigious Lagos Business School. I'm also a Tony Elumelu entrepreneur, also a Leap Africa social innovator, and I've attended several trainings and workshops locally and internationally. So basically, I'm very, very passionate about driving financial inclusion at the last mile. And that's why, we started HalalVest also to bridge the gap between conventional banking and ethical banking. Thank you very much.
Me? Are you talking to me? No, you.
I think it's very, very important to educate people about what HalalVest is. When we talk about halal, it's an Arabic word, and what it means is, permissible. It means lawful. It means ethical. So HalalVest actually came as a result of our, discovery of Halal Invest at the early stage. And we had that mindset of bridging a gap between the conventional banking and the ethical banking, the non-interest banking. So it's actually an Islamic Fintech Company with a mindset to aggregate, the different non-interest financial products across different non-interest financial institutions. So it's a digital marketplace to facilitate easy access to non-interest financial products and services across savings, across investment, across financing, across, pension, across insurance, that is the takaful, across even donations, to ease access to pay for zakat, sadaqat, and waqf, and payments. So we are like a one-stop shop to aid easy access to non-interest financial products and services. That is what HalalVest is all about. So we partner with non-interest financial institutions to help them list their non-interest financial products on our platform. And we earn a commission for facilitating that process. That's basically what's HalalVest.
Who am I? Who I really?
So basically, if you look at it very well, the Islamic Fintech and Islamic Finance sector in Nigeria is still growing, still at the early stage. So it has a very huge potential. And the validation is there for us to actually see. If you look at how many Islamic financial institutions are available across Islamic banks, how many Islamic banks? We only have just with alternative finance, that's 5. How many Islamic insurance companies, that's the takaful companies, do we have? They are not much. How many Islamic asset management companies? You know, how many of the pension products are non-interest inclined? So the market is still very, 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 at the early stage. So there's a lot of huge potential, in terms of the acceptability. If you look at the recent sukuk, that's the Islamic bond that was actually listed by the debt management office, you have a very huge, acceptance from the public. And this is not, is one clarification about and the misperception people have about non-interest financial services, assessing it. It's not meant for only the Muslims. It's actually a public, it's for a public benefit. As a Muslim, as a non-Muslim, as a white, as a black, as an Igbo, as an Hausa, as a Yoruba, it's open. And that is why you can see the sukuk oversubscribed. This is not the first time, this is not the second time it has been oversubscribed. So there is a huge opportunity for its acceptance as we speak.
Really? Do I really care?
In line with our vision at HalalVest, to actually be the leading Islamic Fintech company advancing ethical financial inclusion for all. And our mission remains, to revolutionize, digitize, and democratize access to non-interest financial products and services. We have been able to achieve some milestones as we speak. HalalVest has been registered as a cooperative multipurpose society. We achieved that milestone last quarter, which enables us to actually, have like a minimum regulatory license to work with members, to support them in accessing non-interest financial products and services across several non-interest financial institutions. Secondly, is that we have also built strategic partnerships with several non-interest financial institutions. As we speak, we're in partnership with SunTrust Non-Interest Bank, and we've been able to facilitate API, integration to the HalalVest platform, where people can have access to a Sharia compliant e-wallet. The Sharia compliant e-wallet enables them to subscribe to several listed products across non-interest financial institutions: savings, investments, insurance, that is takaful, to make donations for zakat, sadaqat, and waqf. We also have partnership with Hilal Takaful Nigeria, formerly called Cornerstone Takaful. They've actually supported us at the early stage, even when the idea of HalalInvest came. And we've been able to run a pilot with them. We sold over, 3 million naira worth of their takaful policies to validate the concepts, with the MVP platform of HalalInvest before we actually started, enhancing the new platform as we speak. We also have partnership with Lotus Capital. We had an agreement with them, and we are currently trying to finalize the pilots to have their products listed on the platform. They are an non-interest asset management company. They actually played a crucial role in also facilitating the sukuk that was actually issued by the federal government. So we are also partnering with them, and we have several other institutions, NASFAT, an Islamic organization with over 1 million members locally and in diaspora. We're in partnership with them. They even invested in HalalVest. We have access to also the different Lagos central mosques, that's the Jumat mosques, to collaborate with them in driving these non-interest financial products across the different central mosques around Lagos. And part of our achievements recently, this 31st of December 2022, we've been in Kaduna for the past 1 month. We actually partner with the Association of Zakat and Waqf Operators of Nigeria on their second national conference, which was actually tailored towards leveraging technology to drive collections of zakat. So while partnering with them, we are also trying to enhance the e-collections of zakat with the HalalVest platform. Another interesting milestone we have also achieved is that we have also created, aside from the office presence we have in Lagos, we've also set up another office in the north, that is in Kaduna. Our office is situated at number 1 Abubakar Kigo Road, Kaduna, which we built a kiosk, and we also secured a standard office there. The kiosk will be like a quick service point to access HalalVest non-interest financial product services across the cooperative arm. So we've also been supported by NITSDA, that's the National Information Technology Development Agency. Kudos to the Minister, Professor Isa Ali Pantami, for supporting HalalVest and several other startups. We have been showcased internationally at the GITEX conference, which was actually used to meet potential investors, strategic partners, and and sponsors. So one interesting milestone about the GITEX exposure was we have also applied at the Dubai for the Fintech Innovation License at the Dubai International Financial Center, DIFC. This Fintech Innovation License will give us that international exposure and presence, because it has been subsidized, and they've created an enabling environment for fintechs like us to come and explore the opportunity to expand into the Middle East. So we have initiated that process through the exposure of GITEX, from the support from NITSDA. And I think this has been a very, very influential good we've had in the past year. So among all, we've also had enhanced our technology platform as we speak. We are launching fully this month, by God's grace, to the public with a new platform. Because we've actually been running, pilots with different non-interest financial institutions based on their different products to sync it on the platform. Working with aggregating different products has different kind of modalities in line with regulatory factors and several other customer mindset and like. So we've gone a long way, and I believe what's doing good is worth doing well. So we are ready and we are passionate to drive this with some of these achievements. We still have a lot of other, we are not where we are supposed to be, but we believe with some of these milestones we have gathered, we will continue to drive and accelerate to achieve our plans.
Do you mean you don't give a damn?
Yeah, so it's very important for you to understand who your competitors are. I would say because the Islamic Fintech environment is still very early, in Nigeria. It's still growing as we speak. So I know a few competitors. We have with Ilal, we have Stex that are also trying to enhance their proposition. And we also have existing fintechs that are also trying to, integrate non-interest financial products. We have Cowrywise and the likes. But we are focused on, on carving our niche. And for us to be able to compete, there needs to be other, proposition from the competitors. So we believe that will also enhance, the ecosystem generally. So it's normal, but it's still at the early stage. At the international level, yeah, we have, a lot of interesting competitors we even emulate, right? We have MyTM, they are in Pakistan, and they've also launched in Saudi Arabia. And we have Etis. Etis is also based in Malaysia. And we also have Wahid Invest. They are based in the UK, and they are also expanding. And there are several other international competitors. But, like I said, we have our niche, and each company I mentioned, they also have their own niche. So we have our own unique value proposition, which I believe, it's what we're going to focus on to scale this innovation. Yeah, so there are several challenges, that any startup will face. Not even fintech or no fintech, any tech-driven startup. Some of these challenges are the result of, number one, regulatory, particularly as it relates to fintech. What are the regulatory barriers? What do you want to do? How is regulation? How is it going to affect it? Fine, we know innovation will always go far ahead of regulation, but you need to, be very, very cognizant about the regulatory laws within the environment. Even in Dubai, that with the DIFC, there were a lot of regulations that we needed to understand within that locality. So part of the challenges we'll be facing is working with these licensed non-interest financial institutions, meeting up with their requirements for them to accept us to list their product on the platform. It's really, really something that we had to work with their recommendations. Even if we, as HalalVest, we are not directly licensed with the CBN, we are not directly licensed with Nikon. It's only the cooperative license we have. But we have MOUs, we have, partnership with non-interest, just to enable them to list their products. They still manage all their portfolios and everything. So trying to meet up with regulation is very, very key. So, and I believe we're also trying to move closer to some of the regulators, like I speak, and we're trying to understudy how we can also fit in. This regulatory sandbox of the Central Bank of Nigeria, we are trying to explore to see how we can be part of the first cohort, this first quarter. And we're also looking at also working with Nikon, working with SEC to see where we can play. That is on the regulatory challenges. In terms of, which is normal, is in terms of funding. Yeah, we are still at the early stage, and this is the product we are about to fully launch to the market. So, bootstrapping is trying to bootstrap with your personal funds, with family and friend support. Is what we have still been using, and we are passionate about building a sustainable product, so that when investors see that product, they can even ask from the customers before they come, and say they want to invest in us. So, but it's not easy trying to bootstrap, but we needed to validate the concept. That's why, for the past 1 to 2 years now, it's really not easy for us to. But thanks to, some of our supporters, NITDA and the likes, they've really, and NASFAT, and they really supported us, at least, a lot, for us to be able to ease the bootstrapping. The other areas, it's in terms of working with customers. Literacy. digital literacy and non-interest financial literacy is very key. The capacity of people that understand Islamic finance is still very low. And we do a lot in terms of, and there need to be more of sensitization across the ecosystem generally. It's a responsibility of all, to sensitize people, to orientate people, to educate people about the benefits of Islamic finance, of non-interest finance. It's not about, like I said earlier on, it's not a Muslim or Islamic business. It is a benefit for all. That's why if you do your assessment across different non-interest financial institutions, you'll be able to discover, how many of their customers, if you try to correlate the ratio, the one that are Muslims, the one that are non-Muslims, they are, even if not equal, they are more than. Right? So people are always cautious about, the benefits. And we need to also change that mindset. I used to say it, not because I'm a Muslim, right? Even in the team itself, the head of technology at HalalVest is a Christian and is dedicated, Emmanuel. So it's not about the Muslim thing. So it's about giving people the orientation that you got this benefit. And if you look at several other countries, if you look at some countries that are not even non-Muslim countries, they are really imbibing, non-interest finance, because of the benefits it will bring to their economy. So if we Muslims, if we fail to even try to maximize the benefits, if people that are non-Muslims grab the concept and principle and follow it, I'm telling you, they will get it right. So trying to also drive sensitization is one of the challenge, and it's a collective responsibility. We would also set up a department within HalalVest to drive that sensitization in collaboration with non-interest financial institutions that we partner with, because people need to be oriented about the benefits it has.
But wait a minute, shouldn't I care? With all these.
Yeah, so I think it's very clear, like I said earlier on, that the policy that we are also very, very concerned about, and Securities and Exchange Commission are trying, NICOM are also trying, PENCOM, they are trying, CBN, that regulates both the microfinance banking and commercial banking, they are also trying with all their regulations, because we need to understand the concept of Islamic finance, the concept of non-interest finance. We don't bank with interest, right? We don't, invest in, or we don't deal in businesses that are not compliant with the Sharia in line with the specification, because that's where the principle of driving the Islamic finance or non-interest finance is coming from. So internally, there's a policy. That's why even the CBN and NICOM and SEC, they have the advisory council of experts. Those are composition of both the Islamic scholars, the Islamic finance experts, to guide, aside from the operational framework, to drive the process of non-interest banking and non-interest financial services. So the policy that the regulators have actually applying are very, very good. Because let's even look at, if you are not careful today, some people will just bump into your WhatsApp, they will just add you to a group, they call the group investment group, and they would send screenshots of different investments that they have done, a scam. If you are not careful, you will even, look at the MMM and the likes. People want to get 100% of the money they drop in 1 month. That is not even ethical, right? So not to not talk of the regulatory measures, the regulators are put in place. It's to guide against loss of funds. Because you say, the mindset of people generally is, I want to make more money in quick time. So non-interest financial, service support the regulatory measures that have been put in place by different regulators. But what we also need to be conversant about, we must not be too strict. We need to strike a balance. That's why if you look at different ecosystems that are thriving, look at Singapore, look at even Dubai, the United Arab Emirates. You look at Malaysia. If you look at all the policies, the enabling environment they have actually created, it's really key, very seamless. When we're trying to file in for the Fintech innovation license at the DIFC in Dubai, everything was online, right? It was actually online. And if you look at it very well, it's very, very important for you to be able to, adhere to some of these regulations, because it goes a long way to drive, the quality of the service offering. And that's what we are passionate about. So in terms of trying to align with it, I think it's very, very okay. We're just positioning ourselves because they are what you are supposed to have access to while even partnering with these non-interest financial institutions. So we don't want to pass our boundary. So anything that enables us to pass our boundary, we know that, okay, we need to go for this particular license, which we are preparing for. But as we speak, we only have that cooperative license, and we're able to drive the cooperative banking. Then we're able to showcase the products of these non-interest financial institutions to users across individual user, agent can sell and earn commission for it on the platform. So, and aside from that, we're also trying to be compliant with some of these regulatory measures. That's from the NITDA itself. There's national data protection regulation, the Nigeria data protection regulation, and that is the NDPR. We're also trying to align with that, the ISO certification 27 and 1. So these are areas that even if you are going for the license, you are prepared. And also adhering to corporate governance. We are also passionate about Sharia compliance. As we speak, we have a dedicated department for Sharia compliance that oversee any product that will be listed on the HalalVest platform. It needs to be approved by the Sharia compliance department. So these are areas that we are also conversant with. But we are also trying to plead with the regulators not to be too strict for startups like us to actually play within the ecosystem.
But wait a minute.
Yeah, so number one is that it's about the impacts. Fine, the reward of money will come. We say one thing is that it's between profitability and rewardability, right? Profitability is that, okay, we run this business and we earn a living, we are fine, but rewardability is you are able to create an impact. If you are looking at how comparing the conventional finance and non-interest finance, if you look at the principles and the benefits, you would see that, the one for the non-interest finance outweighs the conventional. I've given examples. Look at the sukuk, right? So the impact of driving these projects actually is what motivates us. We're passionate about it, and we're very keen that we want to leave this as a legacy, as a footprint for Islamic fintech. And aside from the advantage that it's still very early, the ecosystem is still emerging, particularly in Nigeria, in Africa. So we're trying to tap into that opportunity. That, okay, it's a potential for us to leverage on. So that also drives the motivation for us to, work on it. So it has a lot of potential that we are able to, get from it.
Shouldn't I care?
So we have role models we look up to. And we have locally and we have internationally. Even from the birth of the Islamic finance itself, there's a role model for it. So we already know that, right? Then in terms of people playing within the industry, so and it's not about mentioning names in terms of people that have done great things within the fintech ecosystem, right? Then you now talk of looking at the Islamic fintech, right? So they are very there are many locally and international, and I believe I don't want to mention names. There are many, and we are also looking at discovering more that we can also learn from. But it's interesting some of these great things they have done locally and internationally. Yeah.
Whoa, with all these errands, do this, do that.
This one is very strategic. At this era we have, before you know now, you see, both working class at the top level, at the middle level, at the low level, they have that mindset that they want to japa. They want to go and study abroad. They want to go and work abroad. I think it's very, very important. We need to look at the potential benefits it will have collectively and individually to us and the ecosystem at large. It's very, very important. I've been privileged to go out of the country. I've been to Luxembourg within this fintech ecosystem. I've been to Luxembourg House of Financial Technology, that's the loft. I've been to Rwanda, I've been to South Africa, Cape Town. What did we go for? We went to get support. This support actually towards enhancing our startup, to further enhance our own ecosystem here locally. So if you look at the potential benefit it has, for you to go outside the country, and come back, comparing it to you going outside and having the mindset that you don't want to come back, you just want to go and work for whether a foreign company there and the like. So it's not the same. And that's my own take to it is that we must develop that mindset to develop our own ecosystem. And these are the likes of what the mentors we have in the ecosystem of fintech, the likes of Inyaboyeji, the founder of Paystack, and several other potential innovators that has set the pace for us in the market. They went there, they went to get benefits there, they went to get opportunity there, and they brought it back to the ecosystem to develop the ecosystem. So I think that approach is very, very, very great. Just not having that mindset because whether we like it or not, there's going to be the foreign investment, we'll be paying more dollar out instead of us getting value for our naira. We are using our naira to purchase the dollar that are scarce, which will value the naira. It's even better if you have having to get a remote job here while you are paid in dollars here, and you still use the opportunity to develop the ecosystem while you are there, than you saying you want to go there. We are not discouraging people that want to go. We are just saying that let's develop this mind. Let us build this ecosystem together. Government have a role to play, right? There are other stakeholders, the universities, the enablers, ecosystem enablers, the tech accelerators. There are several, players. We need to harmonize all these potential together and build our own ecosystem. And thank God to the Ministry of Digital Economy and Communication. They just facilitated the approval of the Nigeria Startup Act, which is to enhance the ecosystem, further. Because whether we like it or not, we went to, for instance, NISDA supported us to Dubai, and we saw the potential there. We said we wanted to incorporate there, right? So they created an enabling ecosystem similar to Singapore and Malaysia. So why can't we do the same for Nigeria, right? So I have the mindset, and the mindset I always, promote is that you can have the opportunity to go there. Don't have that mindset that you want to just jump up for life. Have that mindset, get the opportunity there, develop yourself there, and have the mindset, develop the local ecosystem. And that's the legacy you can leave behind. Because we can't hide from hide our identity. You are Nigerian, you will be Nigerian for life. Even if you get another second citizenship or you get another third citizenship, let us develop our own ecosystem. So that is the mindset I support, right? So because it's really massive. You even be wondering, even someone that is even the baby that they have not even yet born is having the mindset of wanting to japa with the kind of the momentum. But the reality is what we need to be talking about. In the long run, it does not actually. And if you look at it now, one important thing that we also let people to understand is we need to enhance our digital skills training, capacity building. Thank God NITA is doing a lot. They can't do it alone. We need several other stakeholders. Our universities need to incorporate technology entrepreneurship into their curriculum. Not that someone will finish with computer science and still be looking for a job. How can we catch them young at as low as even primary school? So if we are able to incorporate this into our own system, nobody will be wanting to say they want to japa. It's those people there that they say they want to sapa to come to this Nigeria and come and support to pay for what the value we have created.
Every day at home and outside, I hold a duty to self to care.
I am also a young entrepreneur, so the advice I would give is also going to affect me and several other potential and existing young entrepreneurs. So one thing I always mention is that build a sustainable business. It's very, very key. You need to have that passion. You need to have patience. You need to have commitment. Very, very important. I turn idea into a business venture. One thing the best approach is to validate that idea. Validate it by, engaging potential customers. Very, very key. Because sometimes the way our young entrepreneurs come up with ideas nice. You just think of maybe agbada.ng, you just come up with it like that. We need to look at the human-centered design at the ACD when we are trying to build a product, turning an idea into a product, which will eventually become a successful company. Validate the idea, test the waters with your own money. Family and friends will support you if they see you committed to it. There will be challenges. So you need to be dedicated and to have that patience. When I started my first company, it was very rough for 2 years, very rough. And we had that dedication. I had that focus that this is what I see. And I piloted it, and we saw the proof of concept. Even there were times that I used to tell people, when you travel, have to borrow for us to be at a particular place that will enhance the business. So, but Some entrepreneurs may not want to pitch an idea, put up a good PowerPoint presentation. You can speak phonetic English. Investors to, will bring in money. And at the end of the day, you see that the business is not moving the way it's supposed to move. So the advice I would give any young entrepreneur today is that you must build a sustainable business. Test it with your money, test it with your time and commitment and your effort. Investors will come and look for you. There will be challenges. It is normal for challenges to come. That's why you need to have that patience. You need to have that perseverance for you to be dedicated to push the goal you have actually outlined. And if you're building a sustainable business, it's very important to grow organically at the initial stage. Start small. You may not want to put many things on the table at once. You may even wear different caps. You might be the CEO. You can also be the CEO at the initial stage. So you don't want everything to put everything in shape. You may not have that resources as we speak. I was at an event where there were a lot of tech founders, and we had very renowned investors and tech accelerators. And they were saying that majority of them were concerned about the last year, the upper year, as 2021 investment. That it was over investment. It was over so it's very, very important. Build a sustainable business. Let your customer pay for the product. Even if you need investment to scale it, build that sustainable business with passion, with patience, and continuous commitment. That is my advice.
I know why I'm here. Why I'm here.
We want to discuss how startups are able to scale from 0 to 1,000, 1 million plus without external funding. That is what I am passionate to discuss about. If Zoho, that is well known for the CRM they have built and several other platforms, they could become a unicorn without external investments. So who are we? So we must develop that mindset that if we want to build a sustainable business, we need to put in that effort to get the results. We are investors. We are not saying getting investments is not good. It's good. It will enable you to scale fast. But we are more passionate about focusing more on your customers to generate revenue, to scale the business. Investors will follow. So that's our own, our philosophy. Our customers are our investors. So those are kind of the conversation I want to take part in, to see different startups like us trying to scale organically, sustainably. And we can also have investors there that, okay, let's discuss how we are able to scale it together to the next level. I want to just emphasize that success is not by accident. You must work for it. And it is not difficult. It is an addition of the little effort you put in, day out. That at the long run, no matter how little it is, no matter how small it might be, You must move from one location to another. No matter, it may not be fast. You may not be where you are supposed to be, but you must move. You must continue moving. Right? Once you continue moving on the dedicated, goal you have outlined for yourself, for your company, and you are focused on it, I believe the success will chase you anywhere you are. It will definitely chase you. So that is my own parting word.
It is my prerogative to fulfill morality, gratitude, integrity, guiding service to humanity. Oh, it's my life. It's my life. There's something really wrong with my generation. I'll be too young to leave.
Yeah, in some opinions we are lazy, doors are clueless, timid and coward.
Not measuring up to the good old days. Like yesterday's ingenuity of Isaac Newton, Albert Einstein.
And Thomas Edison that shaped today.
Oh, under leadership of Gandhi, from my mother Teresa, Abraham Lincoln, Nelson Mandela,
and Martin Luther King, who had a dream.
the bravery of Fumila Kuti, Bob Marley.